Tesla's production capacity is growing, and with that comes the need for increased demand. In 2022, they produced 1,369,611 cars and delivered 1,313,851 of them worldwide. They continue updating their cars in small ways as well, but one of the biggest things Tesla did recently to increase demand is drop prices a lot. Today we're going to break down each one of Tesla's vehicles, which one could be right for you, and which options you may or may not want to buy, so let's get into it. To start off with, let's talk about the commonality between all of Tesla's cars. Tesla makes fully electric cars, not hybrids, not electric with a backup engine, purely electric. So just like a gas car, when you run out of gas, if you run out of charge, you can't drive. Oftentimes this scares people, but Tesla has a huge advantage over other electric car makers in this area because they have a huge, ever-expanding supercharger network. This network currently has over 40,000 charging stalls across the world, and as they continue selling more cars, they continue to build more. Another thing to keep in mind for an electric car is the fact that ideally you don't actually need to charge at a supercharger. Your car can be charged at home or in your garage. For myself, I installed a home charger that charges faster than a standard outlet, and I can charge up overnight with no issues whatsoever. It's also far cheaper to charge at home than to fill up with gas. So while superchargers are somewhat there to replace gas stations, they're really just for people who can't charge at home or people on road trips. I've done road trips from Southern California to Washington State, Las Vegas, Northern California, and more without issue. All of Tesla's cars can charge at superchargers, and rates are typically cheaper than gas as well. Teslas are all built for safety. All four of their cars are some of the safest cars out there, with 5 stars in every category from NHTSA. The Model 3 and Model Y are 2 of the safest cars ever tested, and the Model S and X are up there as well. On top of this, for safety, in the event of an accident, all Tesla vehicles include safety features to avoid an accident. They all include automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, lane departure avoidance, and more at no extra cost. In the same category as well, all Teslas include autopilot, which includes adaptive cruise control to adjust your speed and brake according to the vehicles around you, and auto steer, which keeps your car centered in the lane. This can take a lot of stress out of driving and is especially helpful on long drives. Tesla sells enhanced autopilot for $6,000 or the full self-driving package add-on for $15,000. Enhanced autopilot includes navigate on autopilot, auto lane change, auto park, summon, and smart summon. However, right now, Tesla is delivering their cars in a weird limbo situation between dropping ultrasonic sensors and the features being restored in software. As of right now, if you buy this package on a new Model 3 or Y, Park Assist, Auto Park, Summon, and Smart Summon will be disabled. They will be restored, quote, in the near future. That timeline is incredibly unclear, and knowing Tesla, it could be a while. FSD includes all of those features and current limitations right now, as well as traffic light and stop sign control, which will recognize and respond to traffic lights and stop signs with your help, and coming soon, according to Tesla, is auto steer on city streets. Technically, this auto steer on city streets feature is somewhat available in beta right now that you can request when you have the package installed in your car. However, it's still very much a beta. Same with FSD as well. Many of these features will be disabled until Tesla restores ultrasonic sensor capabilities with software. It's also important to note that last year and the year before that, Tesla said this feature was coming soon. And it didn't come then, so we're hopeful it finally arrives this year, but we definitely can't count on it. It's always risky to buy a product for a specific future-promised software feature. At the same time, that future-promised feature is incredible full self-driving that could drive you in almost any scenario. Tesla has been testing their full self-driving beta with a limited amount of customers and now has ramped it up to a ton of customers, so the results are pretty impressive. It's not perfect, but is improving quickly, and if it comes, could warrant that $15,000 price tag eventually. Currently, however, my recommendation is that this package is not worth $15,000 for what it actually delivers, and it won't be until Tesla delivers these features and it proves valuable. I had the same recommendation when this package was $5,000 cheaper, coming in at $10,000. Tesla has raised the price of this package multiple times and will likely keep increasing it because they see the value of full self-driving to be huge. It's a software update and can be added at any time for no extra cost and at the click of a button on your phone. They also offer a subscription for $199 per month, which may make a lot more sense for you. One other thing for any Tesla vehicle is that they do not include a charger by default. You now have to configure that when buying, and they currently sell the wall connector for $425 or the mobile connector for $230 extra when configuring a vehicle. All of Tesla's cars are built for the future and receive free over-the-air software updates throughout the year. They come in every couple weeks, sometimes more often, fix issues, and add new features from time to time. An example of a feature added in software is the ability to live stream your vehicle cameras to your phone. This is very useful and came to almost all existing Teslas when it was released. Another recent addition was Apple Music integration on screen. Additionally, every Tesla comes with the Tesla phone app that lets you control things remotely like climate, charging percentage and summon. You can also lock the doors, honk the horn, vent the windows, and more. On the center screen, you can play games, stream from Netflix and other sources, control Spotify, podcasts, and more. There are a lot of Easter eggs as well and fun apps like Tracks to make music with, but don't worry, you can't use things like Tracks or Netflix on the main screen while driving. In new Tesla Model S's and X's as well, they have full Steam support to play thousands of AAA games. Electric cars frequently get rebates or credits from the government, so depending on where you live, it's definitely worth investigating. Currently, certain Model 3s and Ys qualify for a $7,500 federal EV tax credit, and your state, city, or power company may have additional incentives. There are many other benefits of electric cars like lack of maintenance, cost, and more, but let's get into Tesla's pricing. One important thing to note is that I will be talking about EPA estimated ranges, and those are always a bit generous. Real-world range is going to be slightly lower and will vary depending on temperature, speed, and many factors. Tesla's cheapest and most popular car at the moment is the Model 3. It seats 5, has a standard trunk with an automatic liftgate, as well as a front trunk and all-black exterior trim. The rear seats can fold down for more storage as well. It features a glass roof, wireless charging for phones in the front console, a vegan interior, premium audio, an included USB drive for Sentry Mode security footage, heated seats, USB-C ports, and more, but the main design aspect you'll notice right off the bat is the large center display. It's a 15-inch screen that controls nearly everything you do in the car, including windshield wiper settings, climate controls, and more. Your speed, autopilot visualizations, and related info are on the top left corner of the center display. The rear-wheel drive Model 3 is the cheapest, coming in at $43,990. It gets a range of 272 miles, a 5.8-second 0 to 60, and the only difference between the standard range or rear-wheel drive model and long-range models are that the standard range includes a partial premium interior. You get slightly less premium audio, no LED fog lamps, and front heated seats only. The long-range all-wheel drive model comes in at $49,990, gets a range of 358 miles, and a 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. Currently, Tesla is only selling the long-range in limited inventory and says it will be, quote, available in 2023 on their website. For those two cars, you have the option for standard 18-inch aero wheels or 19-inch sport wheels for an extra $1,500. A black interior is standard, but a white interior, which looks great, is an extra $1,000, and the standard paint color is white. For an extra $1,000, you can upgrade to gray or blue paint. For $1,500 extra, you can get black, and for $2,000 extra, you can get red. For those who want to drive fast, the performance model gets 315 miles of range and a 3.1-second 0 to 60 for $53,990. The performance model also comes with a few specific upgrades like 20-inch Uber turbine wheels, performance brakes, carbon fiber spoiler, aluminum alloy pedals, lowered suspension, and track mode. As I mentioned earlier, you can also add enhanced autopilot for $6,000 or the full self-driving package for $15,000. I personally recommend neither at this point, especially until the ultrasonic sensor capability is fixed with Tesla Vision. I have my full review of the Model 3 linked below. The Model Y is Tesla's next car up with price, and it's largely based on the Model 3. As you can see, the Model Y is very similar in many ways, but it's designed to be a small SUV. It seats 5 or 7 depending on which package you buy. The 7-seater option adds 2 seats in the rear that are very, very small, but apparently get the job done when needed. This option costs an extra $4,000 now. The 5-seater is very spacious and is what I drive daily. It has a hatchback trunk with an automatic liftgate, cargo cover, as well as a large front trunk. It features a panoramic glass roof. This roof is one piece of glass with no support beam down the middle, so it's an even better view than what the Model 3 has. The Model Y has the same vegan interior, premium audio, included USB drive for Sentry Mode footage, heated seats, USB-C ports, and center display as the Model 3. The main difference between the Model 3 and Y are in the size. It's much taller, a tad wider, and a tad longer, which makes it feel much more like an SUV. The ground clearance is higher, and your seats are actually sitting higher as well, so you are much more on top of the road than a Model 3 is. The main selling point is the trunk space. When you open the hatchback, you have a ton of space, and the rear seats fold flat at the touch of a button, making the rear cargo area incredibly versatile. The long-range Model Y starts at $53,490, gets a range of 330 miles, and a 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. For that configuration, you can get the included 19-inch Gemini wheels or upgrade to the 20-inch induction wheels for an extra $2,000. Note that these drop the range to 318 miles. If you want to go fast, the performance model comes in at $56,990, gets a 303-mile range, a 0 to 60 of 3.5 seconds, and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. The performance model, similar to the Model 3, includes specific upgrades like the increased top speed, 21-inch Uber turbine wheels, performance brakes, lowered suspension, aluminum alloy pedals, and a spoiler. You can choose black interior or white for an extra $1,000. White is the standard paint color, gray and blue are an extra $1,000. Black is is an extra $1,500 and red is an extra $2,000. With the Model Y, you also have the option for a tow hitch with a rating of 3,500 pounds for an extra $1,000. Later this year, Tesla could be introducing a new standard range version of the Model Y built on their new platform that uses their own 4680 battery cells, but we've yet to see that fully release. For now, we've seen them pop up in inventory. One thing to pay attention to on Tesla's website, if you qualify for the tax credit, when you configure your car, it will tell you if it's eligible or not at the bottom of the page. For certain options, like the 5-seater long-range Model Y in red, that's just over the MSRP cap and doesn't qualify for a tax credit. Same is true if you get induction wheels on the long-range Model Y. Because of the versatility of the Model Y's trunk and the overall interior space, it is quickly becoming Tesla's most popular car. My full review of the 2022 Model Y is linked below. So those are Tesla's, quote, cheap vehicles for the time being, and by far their most popular. Those cars are great for most people, but they also sell the Model S and X with a number of upgrades beyond those. Tesla updated the interior of the Model S and X in 2021, and it really brought these cars into the future, even though the exterior remains largely unchanged. The Tesla Model S seats 5 and has a hatchback trunk similar to the Model Y, although the car itself is a sedan and sits low like the Model 3. It also features an all-glass panoramic roof similar to the Model Y for incredible views. All seats are heated, as well as the steering wheel and windshield. The rear seats fold flat, and it has a lot of cargo space, much like the Model Y as well, and there's a front trunk. Inside you have your main center display, much like the Model 3 or Y, but this display is 17 inches. You also have an instrument cluster display that gives you relevant information, as well as your autopilot visualizations right in front of you. Up front you have a wireless charger for 2 phones, center console storage, a similar climate control setup to the Model 3 and Y controlled on screen, and then there's an option for a yoke or traditional round steering wheel. Tesla just began offering this round wheel as an option. Either steering option controls most driving functions and actually does not have stalks attached to it. You have buttons for your blinkers, lights, autopilot, and more, and the car automatically shifts driving modes depending on what it predicts that you need to do, or you can manually shift on screen. In the second row, you have 3 seats, with the middle doubling as an armrest, cup holder, and wireless charger for rear passengers when needed. The rear also has a screen that allows rear passengers to stream content, play games with wireless controllers, and more. These seats fold flat, allowing great storage, with Tesla saying that you can fit a bike without having to take a wheel off. The Model S features a 22-speaker sound system with active noise canceling to cancel out repetitive loud noises. It works like noise-canceling headphones, but isn't too noticeable in my experience when you turn it on or off. The Model S starts at $94,990 for the long-range all-wheel drive model. It gets a range of 405 miles, a top speed of 149 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. This model includes the standard 19-inch Tempest wheels, and you can upgrade to 21-inch wheels for an extra $4,500. Those drop the range to 375 miles. The standard interior is black, but you can choose white or cream for an extra $2,000. White is the stock color, black, gray, or blue are an extra $1,500, and red is an extra $2,500. The Plaid Model S is next and comes in at $114,990. It's a tri-motor setup, gets 396 miles of range, a top speed of 200 miles per hour, and a 1.99 second 0 to 60. This makes it the fastest production car ever made. The Plaid model includes a few specific upgrades like those 0 to 60 specs, 1,020 horsepower, 3 high-performance motors with carbon-sleeved rotors, torque vectoring, higher thermal capacity brake calipers, and a spoiler. Each of these cars feature the same wheel, steering, paint, and interior options I mentioned before. And now on to Tesla's last and largest vehicle, the Model X. Much like the Model 3 and Y, the Model S and X are very similar. The Model X has a much larger panoramic windshield than the Model S does that extends up to enable an incredible view as the driver. It has 4 doors, but includes the crazy falcon wing doors for the rear passengers. They definitely turn heads and look cool, but actually can serve a practical purpose, making it easier to load cargo into the side of the car. It has a larger trunk space than the Model S and is overall taller. There are 3 different seating options, 5, 6, and 7, and all of the same premium features I mentioned about the Model S. The tow hitch is included with the Model X and has a 5,000-pound towing capacity. The Model X starts at $109,990. It gets a range of 351 miles, a top speed of 149 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. The 20-inch Cyberstream wheels are included, and the 22-inch turbine wheels cost an extra $5,500. They also drop the range to 332 miles. Black interior is standard, and white or cream are $2,000, and paint colors are the same as the Model S. less. White is standard, black, gray, and blue are $1,500 extra, and red is $2,500 extra. 5 seats are included, 6 seats is an extra $6,500, and 7 seats are an extra $3,500, so it's a little cheaper to get the 7-seater, but the 6-seater adds the middle pass-through. You can also choose between a round or yoke steering wheel. Most of those options are also available on the more expensive Plaid version of the Model X. The only change is that you can only get the 6-seater on the Plaid model. It's also included in the price, so if you're planning to get the 6-seater, the Plaid upgrade may not be too much extra from getting a long-range model with 6 seats. The Plaid Model X starts at $119,990, has 3 motors, a range of 333 miles, a top speed of 149 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 of 2.5 seconds, making it the quickest acceleration of any SUV in production. For the Plaid model specifically, you get that acceleration, 1,020 horsepower, 3 high-performance motors with carbon-sleeved rotors, torque vectoring, and higher thermal capability brake calipers. So Tesla's cheapest car is the rear-wheel drive Model 3, coming in at $43,990. Their most expensive is the Model X Plaid, starting at $119,990. If none of these cars fit in your budget, that makes complete sense, and Tesla is continually working on that, even though it takes a long time. They recently dropped their prices a ton, up to $21,000 on certain models, getting us to the pricing we talked about today. In the future, Elon Musk has detailed plans for a $25,000 Tesla. There may also be a standard range Model Y arriving later this year. With electric cars, it's important to keep in mind that you have less repairs and electricity is much cheaper than gas is. So hopefully buying today or in the future when prices come down further, the overall cost of ownership can end up less than that of an equivalent affordable gas-powered vehicle for anyone. I mentioned earlier that Teslas aren't perfect, and that is true. Sometimes there are bugs with certain on-screen features, and sometimes their cars come with some fit and finish issues that have no place being on a car that is this expensive. This is improving over time a lot, and I was really impressed with my 2022 Model Y, but it is something to look out for. Overall though, the supercharger network is the biggest advantage Tesla has in my opinion. It makes charging a night and day experience compared to any other EV, and I've yet to see any other company offering another charging solution as broad and expansive as Tesla's is. I'm incredibly excited to see what the future holds for Tesla, as well as all other electric cars coming to market in the next few years. I'll be continuing to review Tesla's newest vehicles, as well as all other EVs coming out throughout 2023, so make sure you subscribe to check out the latest here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.